Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about whether or not Jason Garrett is on the hot seat officially. This is serious. Cabo time is in full effect. Friday blues. All right, so what we've seen the last 3 games here has been a complete disaster, complete a train wreck. The Dallas Cowboys season looks like it's slipping away right before our eyes. You know, halftime adjustments, that sort of thing. Injuries plaguing the team. But now, you know, the questions are starting to rise up. You know, especially from the fan base. A lot of people calling for Jason Garrett's head and that sort of thing. Time to move on from the program, that sort of thing. For me, you know, it's hard to argue against those thoughts and sentiments and that sort of thing. But knowing Jerry Jones and, you know, obviously his comments after the game, he seems to still like the program, I guess you could say, Jason Garrett's program. Now, for me, his allegiance to Jason Garrett has been well documented. You know, we've gone through the 8-8 seasons with Garrett, and these same questions were brought up back then. And Jerry Jones was very adamant on keeping him around. You know, always said that the coaching staff would stay in place, especially towards the end of the season. So Jason Garrett has been pretty resilient here, working with Jerry Jones. I think they have a plan here in place, a program, but right now it's taking a beating. Now, one thing that I think might happen, we could see if this continues, like, just, you know, the performance just looks lackluster and people sleepwalking, going through the motions. I think we could see a domino. Either one of these coordinators, if not both, could be on the outs. Jason Garrett himself kind of mentioned the defense in his press conference, that, you know, that there's some issues there. All right, so is it time to move on from the Tampa 2 defense? Is it time to scrap it? You know, that we brought it in here with Monty Kiffin. Marinelli has been here under him as well, and took over when Kiffin retired. And same results, really. You know, having difficulties here in the 4-3 at the Tampa 2. Would that be a change possibly at the end of the season? I'm not so sure that would be it. I think the offensive side, however, could see a change. All right, Scott Linehan, I think there could be a change here. My guy would be
the hiring of Norv Turner is ultimately what put us over the top. He was perfect for us. He was perfect, and perfect for Troy.
Norv Turner is the kind of coach that I think the Cowboys need right now. Kind of offense coordinator Dak Prescott needs right now. Scott Linehan came in here into a good situation with Romo, a seasoned vet, you know, and that sort of thing. But now we're starting to see some issues here with Scott Linehan and Prescott. You know, they're not able to move the ball. There's the creativity, the jet sweep junk. Just some of these play calls have been questionable. I'm not so sure Scott Linehan is the guy here that could groom a young Dak Prescott. Now, Norv Turner, on the other hand, he can, and he's shown it before in every spot that he has been with. You know, most notable the Cowboys, but he's had success with Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers. These guys, everywhere he's been, he's kind of, you know, brought up the quarterback play from the quarterback and helped the offense. So that's one move I would like to see. If any changes are made, bring in Norv Turner and get this team rolling. Okay, get this offense back on track. Get Dak Prescott back on track, and let's go to work for 2018. All right. The other thing I want to talk about here just real quick is the #1 seeds from the previous season. What do they do the next season? So I was curious to see, you know, is there any kind of trend here? And there is a trend. Take a look at this here real quick. This is just this is a look of #1 seeds the last 16 seasons, or from, you know, the year 2000 to last year. the #1 seeds. All right, and basically it hasn't been too good. If you've been a #1 seed over the last this whole 21st century from 2000 till now, you have a 50-50 chance of even making the playoffs. So there's kind of a you've heard this saying that there's a Super Bowl loss hangover. There's also a #1 seed hangover. Obviously the Cowboys finished 13-3 last season on the #1 seed, and this is just looking at the NFC side. Okay, so but 13-3 last season, they lost the playoff game. What's our record going to be? So right now we have a 50-50 chance of making a playoff. Right now we look dead in the water. Realistically, honestly, we're not going to make the playoffs. So what will our record be? You see, there's other teams here that have had, previously they had #1 seeds, came back the following season and, didn't make the playoffs, had a bad record, and that sort of thing. Now, they're obviously the other half of the teams have come back. Those early 2000 Eagles, they were a pretty solid team with Andy Reid, McNabb, and those guys had #1 seed, came back again, and had a winning records, #1 seed again the following season. So those were good teams there. Seattle Seahawks, same deal, #1 seed in 2013. Legion of Boom, following year again, #1 seed. And of course, some teams, they do get back to the playoffs. 2005 Seahawks, the Saints, 11-5 the following season after their Super Bowl. But that's what it is, man. There is some history here with the #1 seeds not doing well the following season. Looks like the Cowboys are on their path to, something like this, a 6-10, 7-9 season. I don't see us getting to 8-8. I just don't see that happening. But yeah, so that's a look at that. Yeah, so I mean, as you can see there's a correlation there with the #1 seed the previous season and then the performance the following season. But guys, let me know what you guys think about this whole notion of Jason Garrett being on the hot seat. Honestly, do you think he is on the hot seat? And do you really think, honestly, that Jerry Jones would, fire Jason Garrett? Or is it more likely that we could see either the offensive or defensive coordinator or both guys gone at the end of the season? Let me know what you guys think here. That's it, guys. Not much else to say here. We'll continue to cover the Cowboys. I got some draft prospect stuff coming down the pike that I'll post that here in a little bit as well. But that's it, guys. Please continue to like and subscribe, and we'll see you for the next video. Thanks, guys.